Okay, so the Loki show is just released. So that's cool. But is it as cool as we think? Well, that's what we'll try to figure out today. Okay, but a few disclaimers before we start. Major spoilers alert. If you haven't watched the Loki show, watch it. It's on Disney Plus and it airs new episodes every day, Wednesday as of right now. Unless you have epilepsy, there are some flashing lights in it. As of right now, there is only one episode of Loki, so some theories may be debunked later as the show progresses. I don't really read the Marvel comics, so I may sound not so educated. I will also not show any footage of Loki, 'cause I don't want to get a copyright strike. It's that hard. I mean, they show 1 second of anything and Disney will copyright strike you. Am I right? Well, finally, I'll be on a 6 week hiatus due to personal reasons that trigger me. Now that we've got that over with, let's start with what we know. So, the Loki show clearly takes place after the Avengers, but what seems to be happening is that Loki had the Tesseract and got transported into some random desert. Some totally random people that speak another language are also there, along with Loki. We meet some other people that speak English who are a part of the group, Time Variance Authority. We meet the group Time Variance Authority, also known as the TVA, which that is how we will refer to the Time Variance Authority from now on. So, the TVA is a group that is dedicated to protecting the sacred timeline. So you could guess what happens if you don't follow the sacred timeline? Can you guess? Well, you go to some TVA court. The TVA court, well, is a group is a court with no jury. So, according to the TVA, they say that some timekeepers chose a sacred timeline and want everyone else to follow it so we have no more multiverse wars. They also claim that people that break the sacred timeline are bad and are called variants. Says the 1960s Hanna-Barbera clock that lives in some world that looks like a hyper-realistic Jetsons adaptation. Anyways, Loki goes to the TVA and goes to TVA court. He is sent to be reset, but some man stops him. So Loki and this random guy who works for the TVA go to a room and have a talk. He also says that time moves differently in the TVA. So, with the push of a random button, time can go back in a few seconds. But it only affects people, not furniture. So the man asks Loki questions, and Loki pretty much had it with this bullcrap and gets extremely pissed. So the man leaves him alone to think about himself, and Loki leaves the room. And in the, I mean, yeah. So Loki goes to the man he met earlier and looks at his desk so he could get the Tesseract back, because the employees gave him the Tesseract. But what I found odd was how did this man have Infinity Stones in his desk? Like, why did Marvel add this detail in? So, Loki gets the Tesseract back and tries to leave it with some employee. Some employee finds him and starts assaulting him, so you know it. This group is ruthless. Then a scene cuts back to some other random employees talking, and that was it. I was very confused because I was like, whoa, that's gonna happen. So, yeah, I totally love cliffhangers, as you could totally tell. Yeah, totally, bro. So, I have some theories. Well, the TVA is a bloated government agency. They were rude to Loki because he was ruining the timeline. Like, I understand we don't need multiverse wars, but is whatever Loki's doing, is it really a bad thing? Another thing a man said to who was talking to Loki said that he was just a pussycat compared to the others. So, do they kill the worst variants instead of resetting them? They also seem to be time traveling to manipulate others. Like some members of the TVA time travel to the 16th century to find some girl and talk about really suspicious things to her, and then kill her off screen later. I don't know, man. They seem very sus. Also, how did this guy get Infinity Stones in his desk? Did the people that saw his variants somehow had a hold of the Infinity Stones and they collected them? I don't have any ideas about this theory, but please comment down what you think how the TVA got a hold of the Infinity Stones. I truly do want to hear what you think. Final thoughts. Well, I can't really tell you much. Loki overall seems like a really interesting show so far. Too bad I have to miss 6 episodes due to personal reasons that are responsible for me being on this hiatus. I hope that we can see Loki develop as a character and see some more good edits from fangirls. I mean, gotta get that Tom Hiddleston footage for edits, am I right, guys? Uh, Also, before you leave, read a parties and sub to me. This is not a drill. Okay, bye broskies.